6 years, chained to the bumper of a truck. A dog named Roughly struggled to survive each day, never knowing what it's like to run and play, never knowing what it's like to be petted, walked, or even given a treat. Frightened and withdrawn, Roughly was taken in at SafeHaven Humane Society in Albany, Oregon. They said yes when other shelters and rescue groups said no. Roughly is one of 20,000 lost, abandoned, and injured animals whose lives have been turned around because of SafeHaven. A special shelter with a no-kill philosophy, SafeHaven takes in animals considered untreatable or unadoptable by other shelters. SafeHaven is their only hope. Staff and volunteers work around the clock, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They rescue and care for dogs and cats who stay at the shelter until they're adopted into loving homes. No matter how long it takes, there's no limit to the time they can stay. When Roughly came to SafeHaven, the staff nurtured him, gave him the treatment he needed, and taught him how to walk on a leash and how to play. They helped him begin to live a normal life. Finally, he was adopted by a loving family who named him Chance for his second chance at life, and a very good life indeed.
For over 35 years, SafeHaven has been there for our community, providing outstanding services from a small, meager facility.
SafeHaven does much more than shelter animals. We save lives. We work with organizations in other states to transport, treat, and adopt out dogs that may not otherwise be adopted in their area. We provide education to the community, and we offer low-cost spay-neuter programs to help offset the pet overpopulation.
I always wonder about where do those ears come from? Looks like papillon, maybe.
Pets are an important part of our world, enriching our lives daily.
Oh, this one's purring.
They teach children about responsibility and compassion.
This could be a woman's cat, aren't you, or she?
And they bring joy to those who take them in.
Pets are great for seniors. They provide good exercise because they need to be walked and played with. They help lower blood pressure, and they give people a sense of purpose and companionship, which is good for all ages, but particularly for seniors. I think they really help extend people's lives.
Come on, Angel. Where's the kitty?
Nothing gives the staff more pride than matching a pet with the best home possible.
Oh, you're being lazy, Angel.
Pets like Angel. She didn't have a home. She was abandoned by a breeder who only wanted healthy kittens. Angel had a chest deformity and was considered worthless until she came to SafeHaven, whose caring staff and volunteers gave her the care she needed.
Well, she had a birth defect, and it's called pectus excavatum, and it's a condition in which the sternum collapses in on itself, and it's come up halfway into the chest and is actually making contact with her heart.
When Angel was brought to the shelter, the staff knew the next few months would be critical. She tired easily, but was placed into foster care to grow and gain strength. Once she was ready to be spayed, surgery was performed by Dr. Glaze, who watched her closely while she recuperated. Pretty soon it was obvious that Angel was not going to be held back. She was adopted by Jim and Elka Oslison. They gave her new life, and their home now has a real Angel.
Angel has been interesting because I felt with her not having as much interaction in her young life, we did have to teach her how to play. She was not playing very much at the beginning. She wasn't used to the collar. She grooms herself a lot more now. She interacts with the other cats, and she grooms all the time now, and she also plays very well with all of us and the cats.
Since 1974, SafeHaven has provided its many services out of a small building on Highway 34. First for dogs and puppies, expanding in 1993 to include cats. Then in 1999, adding a cat quarantine ward, office space, and exam room, all inside a manufactured home. Over the years, the shelter has grown by leaps and bounds. Some days there are 30 dogs and up to 60 cats in its kennels. Staff and volunteers have made the best of these conditions, but SafeHaven is ready to burst the seams.
These are our outside kennels, which are not ideal. Obviously, it's in the summer right now and the kennels get very hot. Although they're shaded, it's just not ideal that we can't control the climate or control the airflow inside. In the winter, it gets very cold. The dogs are outside. We have to break buckets of ice and water. It's just not ideal. The kennels that we have in here in this modular building are for animals who are ill or maybe are strays and need to be isolated from other cats. And as you can see, that is only 10 kennels, so it's not sufficient for the number of cats that we need to house. And we receive over 30 calls a day. Currently, we have 90 cats and kittens in foster care waiting to come in, and we have absolutely no room to put them. These kennels are going to be chock full.
Now we're on an amazing journey to a one-of-a-kind pet adoption and education center. We're bringing to life something we've imagined for a long time, a shelter that will meet the growing needs of animals like Ruffly for many years to come.
We're embarking on a new capital campaign called Imagine the Possibilities to build and create a new pet adoption and education center. Through a generous bequest, the SafeHaven Board has purchased a 4-acre parcel of land in Tangent with a 33,000 square foot building that will be transformed into a modern facility with heat, ventilation, storage for food and supplies, adoption areas, isolated kennels for sick animals, offices, space for community education, and on-site medical care. Our goal is to raise $7 million to cover the building renovation and expenses and to repay our endowment and property purchase. We are on our way, and with your help, we can make the new SafeHaven home a reality.
Jeff and Debbie Andrews are longtime advocates of SafeHaven, where they adopted their dog Chase, a border collie mix needing behavioral training. Because of their experience with Chase, who has made a wonderful pet, they founded the behavioral program at SafeHaven, focused on reward-based training. The couple now lives in Danville, California, but they continue to support SafeHaven and its campaign for a new shelter.
I've been involved in the local business community for over 20 years, and during that time I've watched SafeHaven serve as a very quiet hero. They do incredible work with very little resources. So I hope everyone will join me in making a contribution to SafeHaven so their committed group of volunteers and staff can continue their great work serving animals in need.
There you go. There you go.
When the new SafeHaven is completed, medical care will be readily available. The shelter will have exam and operating rooms with state-of-the-art equipment.
I think the new facility will be very helpful to the community, not only in taking in animals, but they're going to be set up so they have medical facilities to help injured animals and sick animals that are taken in.
We're also looking at doggy daycare, pet boarding, bathing and grooming, and even a retail store to help fund our operations.
I am a firm believer in educating the public in the humane treatment of animals and in fostering respect for animals for children. In a new facility, SafeHaven will have a lot more room, and they will be able to do a lot more presentations, more tours, and allow opportunities for the children to interact with animals in the Pets and Pals Club. It's really a wonderful program.
If SafeHaven can save over 1,000 lives in a woefully inadequate shelter, imagine the possibilities in a new, well-equipped facility. This is a very exciting project, very exciting.
Won't you join us and make a gift today to our Imagine the Possibilities campaign? Consider a naming opportunity to recognize someone special or honor a loved one or animal in your life. Many areas of the new shelter will carry names based on donation levels. Why not be remembered by the community in this way? Your contribution to SafeHaven will make a real difference in our community. If the animals could speak to you directly, they'd let you know your help is vital. They would thank you because it means the world to them.
Imagine the future, how bright it can be when we come together for our friends. So let's join together